Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button and keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. Alright folks, here we are on Sunday, August 27th. We're going to take a look at Cano Health today. And we're going to start here on the Webull platform, look for some trend lines, some support and resistance levels. Then we're going to flip over to the Think or Swim study, see where things sit in the channel, TTM squeeze, and that sort of thing. So first and most obvious thing is this gap. So I'm going to put this gap in here just as to not lose track of it, so that if and when it comes up to want to fill this gap, we have an idea when it's entering the gap and when it's leaving the gap. That will be about at 80 cents on the entry and at about 146 on the fulfillment. So a ton of room in there if it does get to those levels to put in additional price action. Now, I think we're a bit in, yeah. So if I zoom out to the weekly here, yeah, we're completely in no man's land here. So we are at sort of lows of what we have on the chart. And, there's this attempt, 41% increase on Friday, attempt to break this downtrend. So it looks to me like a bit of a downtrend here on these several candles, which sort of put it into the position that it was in by open on Friday. But trying to push out. Now, it's just a one candle attempt at the moment, so it doesn't mean much of anything in my opinion yet. But it could obviously develop into something. So I want to keep an eye on that for sure. And if it does, or even if it comes down to try to retest something, this would be 2210 would be a level to watch, obviously, as it bottomed out there. And it's a little bit hard to tell. The low is on this day 2211. So within a fraction of a penny. So that is a potential double bottom, but it's just sort of two back-to-back candles, so it's not like a retest or anything like that after some intermittent price action. So I have to see how strong or pervasive that movement is. Now, some other levels, if it does start to retrace down, I would look at that 30-cent level on the dot, actually. A bunch of these sort of flip levels, 25, 22, 41 to the upside, and yeah, pretty strong area here at about 44.89. See if there's anything else in the interim that, yeah, this level here may provide something. I don't know that that's as strong as these two levels above it, but there may be a little something there that plays out. There's not a lot of, obviously, price action development that's taken place, so it makes it really going off of scant information at the moment. Yeah, so there's just this big gap in between. So I think what I'd like to do is actually zoom into the 10, see what price action it took on Friday when it was moving through that gappy area that we have between 30 and 38. And for that matter, even between 25 and 30, just because the percentage changes in those ranges is still pretty significant. So I'm going to put a level here, 27. If it's not too much cluttering the chart, there may be one here as well, just shy of 27, but I'm going to leave it off for now, again, just to not sort of clutter up the chart. 33, 63 looks like it's a level there to me. And then here, right about 34, just shy of 35. I'd put this level more here than anything. Okay, so this gives us something that's a bit more nicely filled out. Yeah, so there's potentially a level here around 32 that we could put in, but I'm not sure if that's going to develop and hold its strength, but we'll see. I'm going off of 1 day's 10-minute price action. It's a little bit, like I said, scant. So on the daily, it starts to look quite cluttered, but again, if you're just kind of zooming in and seeing what it's doing intraday, then it looks like this. And if you're zoomed into price action, you have a few levels, and so it goes. But with a stock making wild moves, it's going to pass through a bunch of different levels and retrace and confirm support, confirm resistance over and over and over again, try to build a floor, lose it, so on and so forth. And that's just what's going to happen. But besides the levels, I'm really most interested to see what it does with the attempt to leave this downtrend. Is there any sort of stickiness in that, or is it going to pull back from that? That's my main question. Now, flipping over here, as you would imagine, with the big movement down and then continuous drawdown, it has left the channel that it was in, and right now trapped under strong bearish momentum, as you see, continuously picking up here on the TTM squeeze indicator. That attempt, even though it was a really strong push on Friday, all that did was it rejected. Maybe it didn't even quite reach the bottom bound of the channel, and it rejected off. So that said, that's not an incredibly weak candle, I would say. It's it has a top wick, but so it goes. It's not like it got pushed down super near the day's open. So there could be something there, but it's going to need to sort of work itself back into that channel, and that could give it some sort of momentum, some draw to test eventually the mid-range of this channel, which right now sits at 74 cents. That's going to change as additional candles get put in. That will shift with where the price action is. So, we could do an updated video if that's of interest to folks. Comment below to sort of see where things situate. Now, in between the bottom bound and the mid-range, you have 60 cents. And that could catch some additional resistance there. But in my mind, the most important thing for it to try to do is not treat the bottom bound of the channel as resistance, but to find a way to work itself into the channel and at least start treating that bottom bound of the channel as support. That could give a better indication of if it's willing to start to stabilize and or retrace back through all of the downtrend that it got pressed through here based on this large gap down. But that's what I'm looking for at the moment. Nothing really surprising happening on the TTM squeeze indicator. Bearish momentum picking up. Previously, this was potentially a good call out on the indicator here, these 3 trigger candles. And then when it fired, it put in a few days of sideways action, and then, as we know, just absolutely plummeted. So if you were able to catch that move based on that call outs on the TTM squeeze indicator, pretty good motion there based on what it was reading. So we'll see. And if it does die down, let me see if I can give you, it won't be as sort of rickety as this, but it continues to pick up and then it turns to yellow and kind of dies down. Sometimes it has what I call a hiccup candle here before it just sort of continues on its way. This is a bit smoother. This would be more what this one would look like, because it's so many days of consistent action being put in and readings being taken by the indicator. All right, folks, I hope you had a good weekend and that your trading week gets off to a strong start tomorrow. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.